This is my apple and pecan cake recipe, and it's really yummy, and I'm going to show you how to make it. It's a really simple recipe. It does have a few slightly more expensive ingredients, but it's definitely worth it. So what you're going to do is start off with your room temperature butter. This is like one of those butters that's got a bit of oil in it, but it's not a margarine. And to that I'm going to add, this is golden castor sugar, and there's 200 grams. And I'm just going to make that light and fluffy. Right, the next thing to do is add our 2 eggs, free range, medium, room temperature, and our flour, 225 grams of flour, a pinch of salt and half a teaspoon of baking powder. And we're just going to mix this just a little bit. To that we're going to add some vanilla extract, just a teaspoon, and just mix that lightly. Okay, now for the slightly more expensive ingredients. We've got apple sauce. This is actually half a cup, but I will put the translation in case you want to weigh it or anything down on the bottom. I have 1 Breaburn apple, which I peeled, cored and chopped up, which I'm just going to add in there. And 50 grams of pecans, and what I've done is I've actually roasted these first in the oven, then chopped them up. You don't need to roast them though if you don't want to. And we're just going to mix this really lightly. Right, that is it, the batter is done. I've filled my little loaf liners here, and I'll put a link to where I got them from below. They're from Lakeland. And what I'm going to do is put them into my preheated oven, 160 degrees, and they're going to take around about half an hour. Now that obviously does depend on whether you've got a fan assisted oven and how evenly your oven cooks. So I would say check them at 20 minutes and check that they are not browning too much, because you really don't want that. Similarly, if they look like they are kind of cooked, they're doing well, do not open the oven door. Opening the oven door more than 3/4 of the way through is almost certainly going to lead to flat cakes. So I will show you what mine look like when they're done. These little loaves are out of the oven. They took just over 25 minutes. I literally took them out about 30 seconds ago, and I want to show you what I'm going to do next. I have some toffee sauce here. You can use any kind. You can use the homemade kind. You can use a caramel if you want to. You can use whatever you like. Just poke a few quick holes in these. And then you put toffee sauce over the top. And the heat of it will sort of melt it and make it seep in, and it's gorgeous. Really, really, really nice. Add as much or as little as you like. Right, so I've done them all, and what will happen is they'll start to seep in, and it'll be really, really nice. What you can do as well, if you notice that it hasn't quite melted all the way around, you can always add a little bit more toffee sauce later as well. So I will show you what these look like when they're cooled, but one thing I will say, these are currently on a baking sheet. Now in a couple of minutes I'm going to take them off a baking sheet and put them onto a rack so that they're not still being heated from the bottom. I'll show you what they look like in a bit.